Excellent. I am on. Hey, buzzing folks. Queen Bursty is back once again, and I hope everyone's doing well. And yeah, all that stuff. So I'm gonna wait for a few seconds to see if there's phone. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for a bit to see if any others will show up or not. Or if not, then I'll begin with the issue that we see, like with not just anime but manga as well. Hold on one second. Okay. All right. Okay, not so important. Mm-hmm. Oh, and if anyone shows up, you can guys say hello in the comments below. Okay, all done. All right, so I'm gonna get into this issue, main common issue that we see a lot in anime. It's basically with the fan service, and most of the time the fan service is usually with the female characters. The male characters too, but the male characters don't get it as bad as the female characters do, which is kind of concerning in some ways. And a bit of a pain too, now that I think about it. Crazy? Yes. Totally crazy. And we all know that fan service has been going on in anime or slash manga for decades, and it has been quite annoying and uncomfortable with how they overly use the fan service. And most of the time, the fan service, it don't even make no sense, or it be cringe, like straight up cringe. And so I will go into like the different parts of the issues of fan service. So the first one is going to be the use of it with the female characters, and then second the male characters, and then the third will be how to use it in a way that makes sense. So that way it's not making the viewer or the reader or whoever's watching like certain animes or something like that wouldn't make people feel uncomfortable. That's okay, Jaden. I'm full of unexpected surprises. A little unexpected. Hey there, Chevy One. Glad you can make it as well. I just thought I'd make this stream currently now, even though it's a little early, but I decided to do it now so that way I can get to this very interesting point of we've been seeing about fan service, about how it's used in anime and manga, and how it's I can't speak, and how it's becoming a big issue, especially nowadays. And so the first one I want to get into is how the fan service is used with the female characters, and I'll go with the male characters, and then I'll go with both with the equal treatment, and how we can try to use it in a way that makes sense and not make the viewer or the reader feel like cringing. So with the female characters, the way they've been used for fan service is basically them just wearing, like, let's say a certain outfit that shows off their chest or their legs or anything like that. And so we get it that the attire is supposed to make the character stand out, like, like a style of clothing, like how it fits their personality in a way. But then at the same time, it makes you wonder, why do they need to dress up like that, especially in the areas where it's like really cold, or or sometimes when it's hot. Like, for example, let's see, the character that I'm thinking of, Tamaki from Fire Force. What kind of outfit is that she's wearing? Because she don't look like a firefighter. She looks like somebody who's going to a swimming pool. it's like I get it. Her abilities is like related to having like, you know, cat-like abilities and her having cattails, but at the same time, nobody else looks like that. Not even the male characters look like that. Like they're not walking around showing off their chest or anything like that. It's a little concerning, and the way she's used with fan service, it's very annoying, and sometimes it could just turn people off about seeing Fire Force. What's that, Jaden? Yeah, that can be kind of true. Like they did always be weird about it, and they did change the law about like the whole age thing, about like the legal age. And sometimes it gets you concerning about the age of like certain characters because most of the series that we do enjoy, most of them take place in high school, and their age, it's a little concerning. I would go into it, but it's kind of scary. But other than that, I just wanted to say that since I am a female myself, it basically becomes a little concerning with the way how the female characters are being used. And basically, it makes the women who have the same figures as the anime characters feel a bit uncomfortable and make them wear thick clothing to cover parts of their bodies. Because sure, there are some women who are fine, who are comfortable with their bodies just the way it is, but then you have some other women who are not so comfortable with their body and they wear like certain clothing to cover the parts of the body so they won't receive too much attention, like, you know, like over attention. And basically, nobody likes to be, you know, like over attention like that. But other than that, I think, and somebody mentioned this too. My favorite YouTuber, Harry on the Hook, she mentioned that, like, let's say certain characters. She mentioned in My Hero Academia, which is also my favorite anime. So basically, she said that Momo is a teenager and she's walking around with her chest all out like that. And somebody made a video about this. About they said that Momo basically creates this. She creates objects mostly from her back, and her back is covered in her costume. And the front, she don't really use it as much. Like, you know, like she creates big objects from her back. Yeah, that one's understandable too. But at the same time, she's a teenager. Well, Kirishima too. He what you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Oh, somebody said that Kirishima, he basically has the closest thing that we can say to fan service, but he's not used in an inappropriate way. Whereas the girl characters, there's sometimes the camera films them like in a very concerning ways, like they be close up shots and ugh, it's cringe. It's making me cringe thinking about it. Ugh. Okay, and let's see. Is there any other characters that comes to mind? Oh, in Naruto. Oh, if the internet has any issues, I'm sorry. And in Naruto, do you guys notice that whenever Ino and Sakura are fighting, Ino always has to make fun of the fact that Sakura's chest is small, and I'm like, there are some girls who have bodies like that, and when you're pointing it out, it's gonna make them feel bad about themselves. And if you guys noticed, Sakura does look a little bit like smaller in the anime, but in the manga, she does have like a different figure. Like, sure, she looks kind of the same, but the figure is a little different. That's usually what they do with animes and mangas, that they sometimes change like the design of a character to make them, I guess you could say, more appealing or a little different compared to the manga. Like, let's say if they had like, let's say a character in the manga originally had red eyes, but then in the anime they make them have blue eyes. I guess maybe because to match how they look and stuff, but it's understandable. And oh yeah, I know Jaden and Kirishima too. It's understandable because his quirk, if he wears a shirt, then he will rip it, which is understandable. And let's see. Um, let's see. And don't worry, Jaden, it's not me. It's other YouTubers. They mentioned that. And let's see. Oh, um, Have you guys noticed something about One Piece? Is that the way the female characters, the way they're drawn? I'm like, why are they so skinny like that? And almost all of them had like a similar figure, and I'm like, okay, I guess we don't have too much diversity with that. Let's see, what's that? Oh yeah, it can be. Sometimes it can be used in a funny way, like sometimes an unexpected way. But then the way Fire Force uses that fan service in a way, it makes me cringe and roll my eyes. And like Ariana Hook said, is that she said that if she has to see another shot of like a woman's BOOBS on the screen, she will scream. And basically, that's how I feel on the inside sometimes, is that if I see it again and again, I will scream. And let's see. Oh, and she said that uh, that majority of the characters in My Hero Academia are teenagers, and she's like, I don't want to see no abs or no BOOBS and on the screen. It's just ill, ill. Like even I say that now because I think it's because I'm an adult and basically it's making me saying ill, just ill. Like sure, I may have enjoyed a bit of a fan service from the male characters when I was a teen, but as an adult, not so much. Like tone it down, will you? And of course, we all know the iconic fan service with let's see. Well, in Sonic the Hedgehog, we all know Rouge the Bat. So, of course, and I noticed that she is the only female character who actually looks like that, and it does kind of make her unique in a way. But then at the same time, she is like a young adult because I remember in the manual of Sonic Heroes, they said she's 17. I think she's still 17, I think. Or if they changed that rule, then let me know. And at least Rouge, it's kind of understandable because she's an adult and people are okay with that. But if it's someone who's like younger, like Amy or Cream, big NO. No. Just no. And let's see, not Blaze either because I think she's 14 or 15. I don't know. I kind of forgot. I sometimes forget the age of certain characters. And let's see. Oh, I also forgot to mention. So Midnight in My Hero Academia, hers is kind of understandable, but she did cause like some controversy in universe about the fact that her previous outfit was way too revealing and it caused like restrictions of how like the costumes and how the skin exposure and stuff. So she started wearing ultra thin fabrics so that way she won't like expose like like with the whole law issue. So basically she was the reason for that. And interesting enough is that they said in the manga her wait what? Wait, I'm sorry, I gotta reread that again. Okay, it can be depending on how you use it, but I don't watch One Piece, so I can't say anything else about that. Up to 1,000 episodes? The answer is no. I can't with that. I'll get too distracted and it'll give me a major headache. I can't with that. Just no. And so let's see. What was I talking about earlier? Let's see. It was oh yeah, Midnight. So with her, it was something else I said. What was it? Oh yeah, that she caused the law with the whole skin exposure and stuff. What's that? Okay, that one, and no, I couldn't watch that because the way they did, the way everybody loved the food and stuff, that was, uh, I'm getting the jitters thinking about it. I'm sorry. I can't get into that. That's too much for me. Let's see, anything else? Oh yeah, Naruto. We all know Tsunade. So with her, it's a little different because she's an adult. But can everybody stop pointing out about the fact that she has the big BOOBS? Like, come on now, y'all just stop it. There are some big ones, there are some small ones. Like, come on now, just y'all stop it. Because the thing people feel, actually the ones who had those actually feel a little, yeah. Let's see, what's that? Okay, so that anime, I think it should have been on like the cooking. Like, I think anime with the cooking stuff, they should have like their own genre. I think they should. Maybe, but if they don't want to, then that's fine. Because whenever I hear the word shonen, I think of action, and that anime is kind of like cooking. I guess cooking is action. Maybe, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. And let's see. Oh, also, when I was watching Cowboy Bebop, the show was kind of interesting, but I haven't gone further yet. But some of the scenes with Faye Valentine, they'd be a little too much, and I'm like, okay, no, I can't look at this. Like, don't worry, I tried, but when there are some scenes that make me uncomfortable, then I can't continue. Which is okay, because sometimes there are some shows that are not for everyone. Ouch. Wait, what was that? Let's see, what type of movie is she? Which character were you talking about there? I'm sorry, because I was kind of lost at that moment. Hey there, Tiny Chipog. How you doing? Oh, you mean Tsunade. I'm sorry, I didn't really pay too much attention to her. I guess because she's not like my favorite character, but she okay. And let's see who else. Oh, and let's see the other stuff about fan service. So, thanks, Time Chipog. Thank you. Good to see you too as well. And hope things are doing well. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. No trouble, no issues, no anything. And of course, sometimes I do have to point out like some of the issues that I do be having with certain animes because, well, oh yeah, it can definitely be overused, especially when I'm like, let's say I'm in a bookstore and something like that, then all of a sudden I see a cover of like some girl who looks kind of, I don't want to use the word because I don't know if YouTube will get on me or not, but S. If you guys know what that means, well, I'm sure you know what it means, but I don't want to say that word because I don't know what YouTube will do. I'll just use the word a little inappropriate, especially if that character is like underage and you're like, ill. Just ill. Like sometimes even my own sister, when she be looking at that stuff, she's like, what the heck is this? Like I think I remember I was watching this anime Eden Zero with her. And let's just say some of the fan service scenes made both of us uncomfortable, especially with the scenes with Rebecca and what's her name? Homura? Homura? If I said her name wrong, I'm sorry. And when we got to that one episode with the frog thing, she couldn't take it anymore and she did not watch the series anymore. And basically, sometimes I be feeling that way too because whenever they do some scenes with fan service that take it way too far, I immediately turn the series off and I say, I am not watching this series ever again. Let's see, and what's that? Let's see. He basically. Okay, so those if they use it as a joke, it can be pretty funny. Or if it does give him power, then okay. If it's a joke, then I can deal with it. But when it's 24/7, I don't know. Just I don't know. And sometimes you do got to point out that a certain series they're not perfect and they do have their moments of like flaws or something in there that you don't really like let's say like a scene or a character. Because of course there are some animes that we do watch and there's a character who we don't really like or something in the scene that we don't really like. Let's see, Hunter x Hunter. I've been wanting to check that out. I think it's on Netflix, I think, but I haven't had a chance to check it out yet. And even the Black Critic guy, oh, shout out to him, by the way, he did say that there's good fan service, there's bad fan service, and then there's the absurd type of fan service. And he did say fan service is basically kind of like the icing on the cake, where if you put the icing on the cake, it actually tastes really good, but then once you eat the cake with no icing in it, it's bleh. Or sometimes it could taste good if you don't like the icing. But if you do, then it'll still taste good that way. And he did mention that he did watch some anime in the past where, well, some people recommend it to him. And sometimes those scenes can be a little too much for him. And even some of them actually traumatized him. Or they haunt him to this day. And sometimes fan service, they can sometimes haunt you, especially the ones that traumatize you. Those be too much. And so I think I've been on that one side a little too long. So I'll go into like a fan service with the male characters. So I noticed with them that when it comes to the fan service with the male characters, they most of the time do be having like a fan service in the points that actually do make sense. Like let's say they're getting beaten up or if they got burned, then their shirt like burns off and you can see like a bit of their abs, or when they're upside down, you can see their abs and stuff or muscles. Or sometimes they don't even have like muscles or something like that. And so I noticed that they're not used in a way where it's like too over the top. They basically treat it as like a normal thing. But with the girls, it's like, geez Louise. Oh yeah, I remember that. Some of the fan service scenes in Dragon Ball, in the original Dragon Ball series, kind of creeped me out. Especially since Bulma during that time, she was an underage teenager. And yeah, okay. Okay, I don't want to go too further in this. And let's see. Let's see. There's also some characters who are well known for their fan service. Like I think the one that I remember the most was in the King of Fighters. This character named Mai or May or whatever they call her. Mai. So basically, she's that iconic ninja character who is well known for the. I don't want to say the word, but boing boings. That's what I'll call it. So yeah, you guys know. So every time she moves, you know. And basically, I think I noticed that she's like the iconic way of using fan service the right way. With the female character, at least. Because hers, it's basically, it's over the top, it's kind of funny, and it's not like in your face. And even some of the characters in there they be telling her that they like her outfit, or they be telling her that they don't like her outfit, or sometimes they be telling her that if their lover looks like that, they're not going to let them walk outside. It's sometimes things like that where they point out how the female character looks, and it does make it kind of funny. Let's see, and oh, hi, Geo Heroic. I didn't see you there. It's great to see you back in action. Back in action. Okay. Let's see. In fan service for. Yep, and that's exactly true. But the male characters, they do be a bit more tamed, whereas with the females, they get too over the top with it, especially when they're wearing normal clothing and they have to make them. Okay, I can't go further into that because I don't know what YouTube will do to me if I go further. And you see that it's so difficult to talk about the fan service with certain female characters because YouTube will, you know. Okay, so let's see. And also, you guys can leave in the comments below if there was ever like a manga that you read or an anime series that you watched, but then you dropped because the fan service was too much for you, or you tried to keep going, but then all of a sudden this certain fan service keeps happening until the point where you couldn't take it anymore and decided to not read or watch the series anymore. Or sometimes you have to skip an episode because of the fan service. Because I have to tell you guys, there were times where I had to skip a scene, like fast forward a scene because of the fan service. And sometimes it do be hard to recommend it to people, especially if they're a little too, especially if they're sensitive from those topics. That is true. Sometimes you can have a cool design to do that, and I also call that equal treatment. Oh, speaking of that, somebody on YouTube mentioned this, like if they want to make a female character look like that, then we better see some male characters look like that too, because that's equal treatment. Of course, it's equal treatment for everyone. Because sometimes I'm like, if they want to make a female character look like that, I want to see some male characters look like that too. As long as they're legal, that is. And so, let's see. And of course, the iconic way of, well, actually, no, not iconic. So, another issue that they mentioned. Oh, hi, Superior. I haven't seen you in a bit. Let's see. You were about to drop the Kenyan Ashura, but then you realized it was this. Hey, because if you find out there's more to it, and besides avoiding the fan service, then hey, that's more power to you. Am I right? It sounds like a little more power to you. Also, how you been, Superior? It's been a little minute. I hope you enjoyed your birthday, by the way. I'm doing pretty good. Thanks very much. I decided doing a stream, but even though I usually don't do it kind of early, but I decided to switch it up today. So let's see. And I pretty much was just going on about the fact that the way the fan service has been used throughout the manga and anime over the years, like how overused it is, especially mostly with the female characters. Because with the male characters, sure, they have fan service too, but theirs is a little more like the chill of the bunch. That is true. As long as it's not all the time, then that's pretty good. And I heard of that name, but I'm not too familiar with that. I'm sorry, there are some things I am familiar with, and there are some things I'm not too familiar with, but it's okay. Oh no, we don't talk about harem. No, just no. No harems for me. I'm good. And let's see. I sometimes think in romance animes they do be having their fan service moments, but most of the time I think I can recall the fan service moments with the romance ones is usually the ones where they be at the at the beach or at the pool or the hot springs. Yep, the beach and pool episodes. Pretty much all animes have that. Even the action ones, like the shonen ones, like even My Hero Academia had a pool episode. At least that one. That one was one of the rare times where I noticed the fan service doesn't annoy me. And plus those swimsuits that the girls did wear, they were like the school type of swimsuits, and I actually felt better when I saw those because I was like, "Phew, thank you." I'm sure the scene where Mineta did get upset was pretty funny. Well, Dinky and Mineta. And actually, I do like it make me like a episode like that where they do want to be at the beach or at the pool, and some of the if there's like a male character who do want to see the girls in their bikinis, but then they turn out to be wearing the type of bikini or like a shirt over their bikinis. And then they get upset about the fact that they're not going to see it fully. Maybe because some girls just feel more comfortable wearing a shirt, either because they're cold or they just don't feel too comfortable with their own bodies. But hey, it's okay. Everybody does their own choice. That is true. The beach episodes can be kind of valid. I think somebody said those are more so like the chill and calm episodes because usually we go through like all the action and drama and stuff. But then once you get to the chill part, which is the beach episode or the pool episode, you just feel more calm and relaxed and you feel like you're actually bonding with the characters, getting to know them personally. And those can be pretty fun. Let's see, and the only time the fan service gets too much is when they those I'd be having a big issue with. But no, no, that was not fun. Dang it. Okay, so those can be a very big issue, especially when those characters are like underage and you're like, ew. And sure, it's understandable that there are some girls who do be a bit more developed than others, but geez, Louise, they turn it it's like God's gift or something. And I do want to see a bit more what you call it, the body diversity to show that not all girls have the same figures, basically. And with the male characters, they can do a bit of a diversity with them too. Like some of them have muscles, some of them don't, some have a little bit, but it's not like all of it, basically. And maybe a possible, maybe, I don't know, I guess maybe a little chubbiness, maybe. Just a little chubbiness to show that not everybody has the same body. Because after all, we all know not everybody has the same body and the same figure. But there are some animes who will do that where they basically give the girls like basically the same figure, but then one of them ends up not having the same figure as the others. Because I'm like, why can't we have two or three? Add a bit more diversity, you know? Now let's see, anything else? Let's see, something else popped into my mind, but I kind of forgot. Oh, and Haryana Hillock mentioned this too, is that can we stop doing the S words with the big boing boings, please? Oh no, 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 no. We do not talk about those. No. just no. Those be the absolute worst. And they make me cringe, like straight up cringe. And I'm like, okay, it's okay if you had that, but keep it to yourself. Not everybody wants to see that. It's like, ew. second. Pretty crazy, yes. But other than that, I do want to uh, send in this one last message about if you guys want to use fan service, make sure to use it in a way where it makes sense and not too over the top, not too in the reader or the viewer's face, because it makes them feel a bit uncomfortable and awkward, myself included. And also, if you do want like a certain character to wear like this certain type of outfit, make sure you do it for the other characters too, so that way it's equal treatment, like with the male characters as well. Okay, Mount Lady, that lady needs some help. I guess she's only doing it for like the fame, because there are some people who she basically is like some of those heroes who only want to do it just for the fame and just to show off. And so, my last message to this will be basically make sure to give equal treatment to all the characters and don't over S word them, okay? Because they got to be treated like human beings, not as toys. And so, I know this video is like not too long, but I thought I might share this because sometimes the issues with anime and manga is that the fan service, make sure it's with the legal characters, the ones who are actually adults, not teenagers, because it's cringe. But other than that, I might as well get going because gonna be having some IRL stuff going on. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream, and maybe next time I'll do another one, maybe a more fun one. Owen, what's that? Oh yeah, so when it's used that way for the character, then basically that character is pointless and serves no point to the story than just to be an eyesore. Which is funny because if they're meant to be eye candy, then they're an eyesore because they're overly used and it's annoying. There's a difference between eye candy and eyesore. And so, other than that, is there one last thing you guys want to share before I go? Like a little advice for someone who wants to create like a manga or anime and they want to use a fan service in some ways? Or if not, then it's totally fine. Alrighty. So I'll see you guys around and take good care of yourself. See you, buzzing folks.